Hi everyone and welcome to my place. I have had a request from Jocelyn and she is in Hawaii. She is getting married and she wants to make her own bouquet. She's liked the bouquets that I've done that have been wired, and she sent me a photograph of orchids that look like this. I couldn't get fresh ones, but I did get artificial. This will work equally as well with either your fresh or your artificial. And as I said, I'm going to use the artificial. Now, you wanted it wired, and let me tell you, I understand why you want it wired, because these orchids are extremely fragile and the stems do snap. So if you do want to have a bit more control over your flowers, then the best way forward is to wire them. Now, just a quick, and you've had some palm fronds as well, so I've found these. They're not quite like the picture you showed me, Justine, but these will do. Okay, to wire these, it's just a matter of getting rid of that stem there, because that stem adds to the bulk of your bouquet, so get rid of that. And then the next thing to do is to just go into that leaf like there, poke that through there so that it comes out the other side, then bring that down and then just wire that around there. The less amount of stem that you have, the actual much better for this type of bouquet. Now, you also need to tape, so tape and wire all of your materials before you start, and that's just that this floral tape is fantastic. It's just a matter of just pulling that down, and as you pull it down, give it a wee pull so that it sort of actually sticks back on itself, and you've got this nice fine stem. So the least amount of stem, the least amount of twisting and wiring, and the least amount of bulk, the better this bouquet is going to be. So make sure that they're all wired before you start. Now, you also said, Jocelyn, that you wanted to use white Cattleya orchids. I've got to go somewhere in the planet for those, and I couldn't find them, so I've just got these little wee sort of, they look like little oncidiums to me. I'm just going to use those. As I said again, just cut that to there, get your wire, and I'm using about a 22 gauge wire. Just twist that around there like that, and then just a little bit more tape around that so that they are all stuck together. Right, before you start, get everything all laid out before you go. Oh, hold on, I'll just wire these two here as well. Just go into there and cut that. And to save on bulk, you can also wire several together like I'm going to do here. I'll get rid of that, and I'll wire those into there like that. And then it's exactly the same process. Take that wire up through those flowers like that, and then bring those down like I've done there, and then twist that wire. Now, that extra weight there and bulk, I'll get rid of that as well, because you seriously do not need that. And then that just gets taped again. Okay, to proceed. So once that's all taped and it's all laid out in front of you, which I'm going to do now. And I think that doing it this way is seriously the best way, because once you start constructing, you don't have to stop and start. Right, there are my foundation leaves, and we're going to start from the base up. Those two flowers there, let's imagine that they're Cattleya orchids. They're going to be the last thing to insert, so put those at one end. Now, you wanted a trailing bouquet or something that went up the arm. So I'll do a trailing, and then I'll show you how to put it up the arm if that's what you wanted. Right, starting with the longest flowers first, which is this one here. Put that in front of you. Now, two ways that you can do this. You can start off just by getting your leaves all down like so into a base, like this, and I think we will do it like this way. Put those down into there like that, and then what I like to do is, oh yeah, that's a nice base. Okay, from there, the next thing I like to do is to get a finer wire. And I've got a fine one here. Oops, no I don't. I'll have to go down here and get one. Is there a fine wire down here? There is. I'll use this one here because it's a little bit thicker. So go around the back like so, and then just twist those all together. So see that little point there? Right from there, just put that little guide wire around there, and then stick that to one side, and there's your handle. So when you looked at all of those stems, and I'll show you, oops, sorry. So there's the stem length there. So imagine you had 3 of those, how much thicker that handle would be. Really thick and bulky in the hand. So doing it this way is a much better idea of doing it. Right, keep your wire, your guide wire out to one side like so. And then it's just a matter of going through that one point there, taking that right down to there, and then placing that, and then getting a guide wire again and giving that a really good twist around there. Now the other thing is with that paraffin or the Oasis tape that we've used, as you twist, that actually sticks together, which is a really great way of forming really good, strong mechanics. Okay, from there, and like I've done in my fundamentals of floristry, the longest goes first, the next goes through into there and sits on top like that. So we're actually layering up so that that's sort of starting to cascade down. I've got another piece here, and make sure when you're putting these in that they all go through that one point like that. Take that down into there. So, oh, look at that. And I wanted this to look like it was growing. Okay, so get your guide wire again and pull that around really, really firmly so that that holds in place. And if possible, try and not twist these around, because the more you twist, the thicker that stem's going to be. And the other rule of thumb is that if you can hold a glass of champagne all night, this is the shape that the handle should be, so that when it fits in the hand, it's like you're holding a champagne glass, nice and light. So the least amount of bulk you've got, the better it's going to be. So I've put one down, I've put one on top of that, I've got another one coming to one side, going back into that same point of origin where everything else has gone, place that into there, and then I've got one more. So what I'm going to do with that is I'm just going to push that down into there so that that sort of slightly goes up and into my bouquet. Now getting a guide wire again, twisting that around really, really firmly. And of course you can see that with the guide wire and wiring everything, you can pull it really, really firmly so that nothing falls out. Now I've got a little bit of a problem here. I'd actually like a few more flowers over there. So this is what I mean by try and wire everything before you start, because you've got to stop and start, and sometimes it can actually set you off your flow of where you're going. Right, that goes around there like that, twisting that around there like that. And trust me, after doing this for 35, nearly 40 years, I've become very fast at doing this. Okay, give that a wee twist there. And then I want that to go over to there, and I'm still working through that one point, which is just through here. See this wee point through there where there's just gone through? That's my point of origin for everything that's been stuck through. That goes into there like that, and then I'm going to push that over there, bring that down like that, and you don't always have to twist it either. Right, these are my two, let's just imagine these are my Cattleya orchids. This is where you've just sort of got to go by a bit of feel to make sure you get those through that one position. That goes into there like that, and then this one can go into here like this. And you can see it hasn't taken me very long, because we're in real time, you and I, as we speak. That can go into there like that. But if the Cattleya orchids would be beautiful, because that would fill out that whole area. But that's okay, it's fine. Sometimes you just can't get what you want, which is what normally happens for me here on the other side of the world. Right, now, look, all of that weight, which would have been, well, what have I got there? Like about 15 flowers, and I've only got that length of stem. Much, much nicer to be holding on to. Right, from there to get you see the length of your bouquet, I usually go the length of the hand and then just add a couple of inches onto that. So we'll cut that about there and get my wire cutters, cut those off like that. Yeah, that's a beautiful length. Okay, that can just go down there like that, and then once again, once you've done that, it's just a matter of taping all of those stems. I hope my dentist isn't watching, because he does tell me off for using my teeth when there are things called scissors. So that just gets taped along there. As I said, as you're doing it, just give it a wee pull like that. This stem is such a nice stem, and I know that we're all into the handheld posies of flowers, but honestly, all that weight, you know, and if you're not used to carrying something like that, it gives you the worst cramp. Now, the other thing is, when you get to the end and you've got like a few wires, it's like a fringe. Just remember that at the end of that, if you want a straight fringe across there, make sure that all of those little wires are done. Take that down, continue, and take that up like that. That is a beautiful, lightweight, gorgeous, trailing bouquet. I would love to have this, and this will work with Singapore orchids, with the Cattleya, with Cymbidiums are a little bit harder to work with because they've got long stems and they're a bit stronger, but that there is a very, very nice bouquet. And the other thing is, when you're carrying this, I'll just tip that down a wee bit there. When you're carrying this, as I said, it should stand in your hand as if you are carrying a glass of champagne. And trust me, we can all hold one of those all night, can't we? Okay, and the other thing is, let me just turn this over. The leaves actually now give you the most amazing sturdy base on which to work with. Now leave me for a couple of minutes till I clear my decks, and then I'll show you how you can bind and finish the handle off. See you in a few minutes. Decks cleared, well, sort of cleared. All this over here is to show you how to do different finishing bouquets or handles to finish your bouquet. Now, Josh, you said that you wanted something, you were wearing a beautiful creamy ivory satin. I found this, which I thought would be quite nice. And even though we've made quite a slim handle, if you wanted something a little bit better, let me just show you how you put these together. Now, these are just, you know, you get them for luncheon paper, or just, I wouldn't use a toilet roll, but, you know, fabric containers or plastic wrap containers. That's what that is. And this here, what I've done is, if you wanted something that was a little bit shabby chic, that there's just a bit of fabric that I've found, and all I've done is I've used some Mod Podge and covered the whole thing, and that makes that really, really strong. That would be great if you wanted to have roses up into your arm. I'll show you how to do that another day. You can also do it a little bit longer, a little bit finer, and this here is just a little bit of lace that I've put over the same kind of container. And for you, Josh, this is the one that I've selected for you. It's got the white satin and, or that I think it's, well, it's a satiny colour, isn't it? Ivory or cream or whatever you're using. Now, the reason I've selected this is because, one, your frock is that colour, and two, you'll have the Cattleya orchids in there. And this is just a matter of, all I do here is get a little bit of glue around there. This here's just been a long piece and I've just ruched it off, and then that just gets pushed up into there like that, so that the glue holds it. Look at that, that is fantastic. And then, oh, I just love that, that is so beautiful. And then to finish it, what I like to do is I found this little natural button, and onto that I found this little wee diamante, another wee diamante button. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue onto there, stick that onto there, into the middle there. I like a little bit of sparkle. Just let that just stick onto there. It'll take a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds, and then put another little bit of glue onto there like that, and then take that right up into there like so, so that you've got a nice little bit of detailing at the end. So Josh, I hope that that has been of assistance to you. And for those that are wanting to know how to use fine flowers to wire them, to be able to manipulate them, this is a fantastic way to go. There's lots of other ways of finishing bouquets, but that's enough for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you another day.